It's March 20th, 2022. I'm watching the TV and it's the Eyewitness News. There's a sequence of events. The way that they structured the programming, I found actually quite interesting. It starts with going electric. So if you think of going electric, like going, like turning red, like just all I see is red, like, ah! But of course, in my demeanor, it's just going electric. I mean, I'm being electrified. It hurts. In HERTZ and HURTS. Then it goes into something to do with Harry Potter and Orlando, whatever that means. Then it goes into a Cuomo ad where he's like, he invested in airports and bridges and paid family leave so everybody leaves, like, and then an all-inclusive New York. Right, okay, so you were there and allowed it to happen the whole time. I see that. Now he has an advertising about it. And then it goes into the most damning of all evidence, which is a pictorial visual representation of Leonardo da Vinci's the man in the spherical structure. And then all of a sudden it starts splitting apart and light comes shining from it, and then out emerges one of the cocoa-colored skin kids from elsewhere, but like with bronzer on so she looks less dark. And she's in like a heavy, chunky genetic, like almost like the one I'm wearing now. And then it flashes with cats, but spelled Katz. I mean, like, are they trying to taunt me? Just curious, because I'm CAT, and I got Z's, 2 of them to be exact, 3 A's. So, it's just an interesting New York State. Again, I'm in the us section of the garden. I put normally a white portion over my flag when I'm trying to speak to someone intelligent in, I don't know, do you go to the me and you section of MEU to say, hey, I don't know if you know what we got going on here, but just if you could keep an eye from over there at us, because I'm trying to do stuff over here and it feels like they're hurting me from invisible realm. And there's really no interaction. They expect answers, but they don't really, it doesn't look like they participate much in keeping anything safe or building anything that's easy to enforce. Same time, there's a pandemic going on, and then you've got this new Supreme Court nominee. I'm like, isn't that treason? They're trying to put one of the problem children inside a Supreme Court position. Isn't that what treason is? Are we trying to put people in high positions to take down a government and, like, the safety structure of governance? That's what it looks like.
Come in early. We'll get the showers in probably in the afternoon. Thursday seems to be a wet day, and we might have to keep that idea around a little bit on Friday. Full forecast coming up. So before you run outside, check with us one more time, guys.
All right, stay in the sun. Thank you, Sam. Coming up, going electric. The latest city in New Jersey to expand access to electric vehicle charging stations. And countdown to the Oscars. What we can expect from the 3 hosts who are set to make history.
Here's a place I've only been maybe once or twice in my entire life.
In politics, like in life, you stand on your record, your results. As governor, every day I worked my hardest to deliver for you. New airports.
New airports. Weren't the airports supposed to be shut down? A no-fly zone and a restricted airspace go into effect? I'm just curious. Because why would I want them to have ability to shuttle their criminals from other places into the United States garden area? It's part of the problem. Why is he touting this like this is a good thing? I'm just curious.
Trains, bridges, paid family leave. The strong.
Right. He paid people to leave the safety plan and the NSA plan and the Mount Rushmore plan. Apparently, I didn't get paid because I was the target.
Strongest gun laws and a $15 minimum wage. And we led this nation through the frightening COVID crisis. I haven't been perfect. I've made mistakes. But I also made a difference. I've never stopped fighting for New Yorkers, and I never will.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Probably in the afternoon. Thursday seems to be a wet.
The latest city
Airports, trains, bridges, paid family leave, the strongest gun laws, and a $15 minimum wage. And we led this nation through the frightening COVID crisis. I haven't been perfect. I've made mistakes. But I also...
What nation, first of all? And second of all, building a more inclusive New York. Yeah, that's part of the problem there, bud. Because at blood banking, your people, and the rest of the inclusive New York have been commingling at the blood banking. That's a problem. That's a very serious problem. You're not supposed to commingle funds, and you're not supposed to commingle blood banks. It causes a disturbance at designer diseases.
also made a difference. I've never stopped fighting for New Yorkers, and I never will.
For too long,
Now here's the significant structure. And now watch what pops out of it, and then it claims itself as KATZ, even though it doesn't look like any cats I've ever seen. And then it's got women's health in it, which is one of those campaigns that they ran the entirely wrong way. They ran it into commingling, which is the dangerous action.
fault in medicine has been man. So
They just said the fault in medicine is man. Really. Because the Isle of Man was supposed to keep strong. Yeah. One blood, one bank. Yeah. So why is the fault in the Isle of Man, or the blood bank of man? I'm just curious. The fault actually is in the comminglers that allow this to continue and pose a threat to us all.
So Northwell created the only network of experts devoted to every aspect of women's health.
And the children that refuse to listen.
When we raise the health of women, we raise everyone.
See this? That's a 4-letter word. Oh, and they even put a Z in there. I'm still CAT. So, women's health, raise health. How are you raising health when you're causing designer diseases because of these kinds of campaigns? We're not doing North well at the moment. We're doing North horrible. I can't get the New Yorkers to listen or to go in action of what needs to be for safe and tidy. I was thinking this morning, I'm like, I remember in Lloyd Harbor Elementary, they took us on a tour of the local neighborhood. There was a museum there, and we went in, and there was one of the dads were there, and I was trying to listen, but again, I got one of my attacks where I get a little dizzy, and I'm trying to focus, and I'm trying to pay attention, but for whatever reason, the person that was speaking, it wasn't connecting the way that it should. And I mean, I heard the noise the person was making. So I think I asked the dad. I said, I couldn't really understand what she was saying. And then again, she was using words, wailing words I had never heard before. Because it was a whaling museum about like the Arctic whales, but off in, again, the local area for whale blubber or for making candles and that sort of thing, when such a thing was allowed back in like the olden day. And so it was more of like a story presentation. But I was having a real hard time like translating the human, because I don't know, I don't know if it was just such a foreign concept or it just wasn't connecting like the wires in the system. One of my other hand signals. Like you have a wire from here to here, and then there's a wire from there to there. So I wasn't sure what was broken for it to actually stick and work in a thought pattern that makes sense. But again, it's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It is March 21st, 2022. And it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxies, Broken.